Gervonta Davis is in beast mode ahead of the Lamont Roach rematch. His training has shifted into a gear that wasn't visible before their first fight. The sharpness and explosiveness is back. Davis has been pushing hard in the gym, staying quiet publicly, but sending a clear message through how he trains. This rematch is personal. Floyd Mayweather has been watching closely, and sources close to the camp say even Floyd was shocked by how difficult the first fight turned out to be. This wasn't the kind of performance he's used to seeing from Gervonta. He's now watching Davis go all out, tightening everything around him and showing no signs of complacency. David Benavidez, who joined Floyd Mayweather's take, spoke about the fight on the Pound for Pound podcast with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. He said, "They should have counted it as a knockdown. If they had counted it, it would have went to Lamont Roach." He also gave Roach credit for how prepared he was, saying, "Lamont Roach came prepared." Then Benavidez zeroed in on Davis's mindset. "What I didn't like about Tank is the whole, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, giving him way too much respect. He was talking about retiring and stuff. That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're used to seeing." Then he added one statement to solidify Floyd's view on the new Tank, saying what Tank is capable of. "Gervonta is a flicking beast, bro."
Well, seeing the first fight, like I said, both of them are great fighters, man. I mean, good fighters too, great fighters. Who gonna have the edge this time? Yeah. Not saying he gonna win though, but Lamont.
Wow.
He would have won. Everybody saying that he won the fight. You know what I mean? You know, and then that when he took that knee, that really was supposed to be a disqualification. You know what I mean? And then you can't go to the corner and get your eyes wiped. You know what I mean? With a towel and all that. You know what I mean?
Benavidez also talked about their amateur history, suggesting Roach just knows how to deal with Tank's style. They fought a lot in the amateurs, so maybe it's just the guy that has your card. That probably played a big part, but I also didn't like how he said he wanted to retire and he just wanted to get the money. Since that night, Davis has gone silent in public. There's no promotion, no press run, just training. The footage shows him sparring harder, hitting pads with more urgency, and keeping his movements sharp and compact. There's no dancing or showboating, no casual vibe in the gym. This time, it looks like Davis knows what's at stake. Losing this rematch, or even looking average again, would raise serious questions about where he stands in the division.
Tank, Roach, Las Vegas, and June.
Tank, okay, yeah.
I was hoping that it'd just be in the DMV because I feel like that makes the most sense. But now that fight is prime time. When before it was why you fighting them, Tank? Now it's you gotta fight them.
That fast.
Yeah, right?
That fast.
And that just goes to show you just how fast, like, you could just change. You could turn the odds on the casino. Now Lamont can have his pick of the litter. Like, Shakur could fight Lamont next. Keyshawn could fight Lamont next. Like, and those are all fights that we watch.
You know what?
Lamont Roach, on the other hand, is walking into the rematch with full belief that he already won the first time. He said, "I know I won that fight. This time, I'm not letting it go to the judges. I want it clear." His father and trainer, Lamont Roach Sr., backed that up, saying, "We knew it was going to be competitive, but the way it turned out, that decision didn't sit right with us. We watched the tape. This time, we're adjusting and making it obvious."
For Tank Davis, right? And if I'm being real here, right? The biggest fight for Tank Davis right now is the rematch. And the reason why I say it's the rematch is because everybody said that Tank lost the fight. The majority of fans said that Tank lost that fight because of the knee. So that's why I say the bigger fight.
Jordan Roach, Lamont's younger brother and a fighter himself, didn't hold back either. He said, "I think my brother stops him this time. Gervonta can be hurt. We saw that. This time we push more, take more, and finish it." The Roach camp believes the 9th round knee wasn't just fatigue. They believe it was Tank mentally checking out under pressure. Jordan added, "We saw something in him. We're not letting him breathe this time. No respect, no breaks." Roach himself is putting real money behind that belief. He's betting $250,000 on himself in the rematch. That's not just confidence, it's personal conviction. In his own words, "I know what I did the first time. I already beat him. Now I'll just do it again and leave with the belt this time." Roach Sr. said the approach now is more aggressive. "We're not waiting on anything. We're not trying to figure him out. We've done that. This is about finishing the job."
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, that's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't give me the win. And I have I definitely have room. I'm not gonna lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night.
Robert Garcia, one of the most respected trainers in the game, watched the first fight and said publicly, "I had Lamont Roach winning. He was the busier guy, landed more clean shots, and Davis didn't do enough in the later rounds. It wasn't a robbery, but I don't think Davis deserved the draw." This has created a different kind of pressure around Gervonta Davis. He's not just defending a belt anymore. He's defending his name. His reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in the world took a hit after that fight. And the boxing community noticed. Fighters like Benavidez speaking openly adds heat. The rematch isn't about hype anymore. It's about legitimacy. Tank needs to dominate, or people will keep bringing up Lamont Roach's name every time he's mentioned.
No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I gotta do that. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He a hard hitter.
That's why the intensity has changed. The rematch is scheduled for August. This time, Davis isn't approaching it with cocky energy. There's no talk of retiring, no mention of just getting the bag. All the signs point to him treating this as a career-defining fight. Roach's team sees the change too. Lamont Jr. said, "He's going to train hard this time, I know that. But I don't care. I'm training harder. I'm smarter now. I've seen it. He's beatable." Jordan Roach added, "The best thing that happened to us was that draw. It gave us the blueprint. Now we're coming to take everything."
The decision I want, but we didn't get a loss here, so I felt like I won it, the last couple rounds, so it's cool. Lamont is a great fighter. Hopefully I can get that rematch, because I know what I can do in a fight, but it's cool.
They also believe Davis underestimated them. Roach Sr. said, "Tank thought it was going to be easy. Now he knows, and now he's scared." The tone from both camps is completely different than before. Davis is silent and focused. Roach is vocal and energized. The first fight gave Roach proof of concept. This time, they're not trying to hang with Davis. They're coming to end the story. No more waiting for mistakes. They want to force the issue. There's also more awareness around how the judging could play out. Roach Sr. addressed it. "We know we're going into his territory again. We're not banking on judges. We're taking it from him."
I look for a tough fight in the next fight, but I still see Gervonta winning. I think Gervonta will win in a little easier this time. But Roach is a heck of a fighter. He's going to give everybody a hard, anybody that fights is going to give a hard time. But I do think that Davis had an off night.
I spoke to Eddie Hearn and he said he wanted to make the Shakur Tank fight straight away. Obviously now Tank's going into the rematch. That won't happen yet, but when it does happen, Eddie's still adamant that could happen this year or straight after the Roach fight. How do you see that fight playing out?
Tank has never been in a fight like this. He's been in wars, but he's never been the guy people said got lucky. He's never had the public split on whether he deserved the result. He's never had a rematch where the opponent came in thinking they already beat him. That's what makes this fight different. Roach wants to make this ugly. Tank wants to erase the memory of March. The outcome won't just determine who holds the WBA belt, it will tell the boxing world whether Gervonta Davis is still the force everyone believed he was, or if Lamont Roach has his number permanently.
Between Lamont and Gervonta,
I like Lamont in the rematch.
I think you were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style, with Tank's style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So,
did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your opinion, Shakur? What adjustments do you think we see from both?
Huh?
What adjustments do we see from...
Rematch between Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Lamont Roach is expected to take place in August. While there hasn't been an official confirmation yet, the fight is reportedly being targeted for the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. A previous regulatory hurdle involving the New York State Athletic Commission created some confusion, but the location appears locked in regardless of the date shift. This isn't the only headline Davis is generating.
And I was hit with the draw decision. In my opinion, I could say that Team edged it if I was judging the fight. I had Team up by 1 round, but that knockdown took it down the round. So, in my conclusion, I still think it was a draw. Because I had Team up by 1-2 rounds. It was, but that the knockdown, it was all over the place. So I really don't, depending on how the ref take the bout, I think the bout came into a ref hands, honestly.
Did that teach you something about the business of boxing? Heading into the pros is like...
There's heavy speculation about a potential blockbuster clash with Jake Paul later this year. Both Davis and Paul are said to be in early stage negotiations. Paul has been teasing a matchup that crosses traditional boxing boundaries, and Davis's name is at the top of his wish list. However, that potential bout now hinges entirely on the outcome of the Roach rematch. A loss or even a close win could derail the hype train and make a commercial showdown less appealing.
Okay, Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, controversial draw. Who do you feel like wins the rematch?
Who wins the rematch?
Yeah.
They're both gonna come ready again. See, the first one was a tough one too. I had Lamont pulling over my line. But yeah, smudge. I wasn't mad at the draw. You know, I'm gonna rock with Lamont though.
Think Lamont takes it?
It's hard.
Yo,
because Lamont surprised me a lot. You know, so yeah, I'm saying Lamont, man.
Paul addressed the situation on the Ariel Helwani show a few days ago. He didn't hold back, saying, "I never really thought Tank was that good. It would just take the right fighter to pick him apart, to be honest. Someone who had high activity and wasn't afraid of his power. So I always saw so many holes in his game. To me, it wasn't that surprising that someone finally gave Tank some good work." Paul believes Roach may have exposed Davis in the first fight, and that a repeat performance would make a matchup with Davis far less marked.
Sweat won't get in your eye, blood won't get in your eye, spit fuck around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on, ref. You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right.
No.
Pops is a no?
Hell no.
Yeah, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Coach bet on him, man. He lucky.
For Roach, the opportunity is clear. He knows he's a problem for Davis. He's already forced a draw, and now he holds the keys to disrupting any of Tank's future plans. That includes any talks with Jake Paul. Roach has zero intention of allowing that fight to happen, and he's made it clear that derailing the Davis-Paul commercial machine is part of his mission. He sees himself not just as a contender, but as a gatekeeper to Tank's legacy. His mindset is simple. If Davis wants the money, the brand building, and the Mayweather comparisons, he needs to get through him clean.
He got lucky at the draw. He did a good fight though. I thought he won it, but man, he gotta just create more action. That's a sparring session as far as I'm concerned. God damn, that's not that Gervonta.